Good afternoon and welcome to the wrap-up show brought to you by the UPMC Health Plan. Mike Prisuta along with Craig Wolfley wrapping up day 9 on campus and practice number 7 here at St. Vincent College. Steelers training camp 2023. No pads today, just helmets, but some excitement late. The Steelers practicing a 2-minute situation for the first time in training camp, and Joey Porter Jr. stealing the show once again. He had an interception on Tuesday and then another one today. This one against Kenny Pickett, which prevented the offense from completing its assigned task. That was to drive the ball 65 yards in 1 minute and 19 seconds with one timeout. Joey, thanks for spending some time with us. I was wondering what you were going to do for an encore after Tuesday. I guess another interception works, doesn't it?
Definitely. I'll take that any day. So, yeah, it was definitely a great way to end practice.
Joey, what were you thinking when you broke on the ball? I mean, you got the time element, you got all the things going on in the 2-minute, but something instinctively in you. You break on the ball, you launch, you get it, intercept, and all that stuff. Take us through that interception.
I mean, I work on that drill basically every day before and after practice, coming back to the ball, finishing toe tapping outside. We was in a cover 3 situation. It was scramble rules. I see the guy, he was looking down, and I just trusted my instincts and went after it. And I got my 2 feet in.
Oh, boy, did you ever.
Joe, that's 2 in 3 days up here. I think you had 1 in 36 career games at Penn State. What's changed?
They trying me a little bit more. That's what kind of changed a little bit. And also just really working on my skill before and after practice, like I said.
Joey, what has been harder than you anticipated, if anything has been harder than you anticipated, and what, by contrast, what has been easier maybe than what you anticipated coming into training camp?
Really just coaches let me play. They trust what I can do. They grab me for a reason, and they just let me ball out. Obviously, they coach me on little stuff and techniques that I need to get right. But other than that, they just let me be me, and that's what I love.
Kind of a young guys practice today, Joey. A lot of the veterans had the day off. You got a lot of run with the number ones, a lot yesterday. That's been happening with great regularity. How do you feel that's accelerating your transition here into the NFL?
I mean, I feel like it's going well. You know, just getting those live reps with the number ones really boosting my confidence, showing that I can hang with anybody. There's wins and losses and everything, and I just try to take those on the chin and keep going, especially with the position I play.
Now, Joey, how much you've been in contact with Dad? You know, because Dad, you know, he's got a good view, I'm sure, every time when he comes up, but I'm sure he's always got something to say. How's it been going in the conversations with him?
It's been going good. He been giving me my space. He also obviously have eyes out here. You know, he have eyes out here to watch me. But
there you go.
He's got eyes everywhere.
That's what us dads do. See, that's how we roll.
Yeah.
Joe, we had Levi Wallace on last week, and he mentioned that in 7 shots, sometimes the dinner menu is at stake for the winning side. You know, sometimes the winning side gets steak and the losing side gets hot dogs. Was there anything on the table on that 2-minute drill today?
Not that I know of, but I hope it was. I really do. I hope it was.
And last thing I got for you, you mentioned a moment ago you have to be able to bounce back, short-term memory. Somebody beats you, go on to the next snap. I got to believe that's easier said than done. How have you been able to sell yourself on being able to do that?
It's definitely easier said than done because we're all competing out here, and we always want to be winners. But really just got to take it with a grain of salt. Just got to accept it and, like Coach T said, smile after adversity and keep working. So I lose 1 rep, I'm thinking about, okay, he's not going to get another one. And that's how I roll. That's how I always play the game.
So the last question for you, Joey. What do you think about balling out on Friday Night Lights tomorrow night, huh?
That's no doubt. I'm definitely balling. I'm bringing my A game for sure every time I step on the field.
Joey, again, appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us. And you're on a roll. Stay with it.
Stay with it, brother. You're doing great.
Thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Steelers cornerback and number 2A draft pick, technically 32nd overall. Most years that's a first-round pick, but this past year it was a second. And that was an impressive play. Kenny Pickett stepping up, throwing on the run, rifling it. Pickett was letting it fly in that drill, even though some of the regulars weren't involved. That looked like a professional play to me, Wolf.
There's no question about it. You know, as he said, it's cover 3. You got zone coverage, and his instincts take over. He breaks on the ball. He finishes well on that drive and intercepts the ball. You know, we're seeing more ball skills than what we – for me, when I asked him, said, what's been harder, what's been easier? For me, what I came into camp thinking was we're going to see a lot of an Ike Taylor type cover guy, maybe having a little problem with ball skills. And it's not that at all. he's got Ike Taylor cover skills, plus he can ball out and catch that thing.
Yeah, I was good. Ike wasn't exactly Lester Hayes when it came to catching.
He wasn't, but I still say this: not a lot of guys caught balls off him. You know what I mean? So, but to have that ability, like what he's seen, that pick he had yesterday was so clean, it was ridiculous.
Some details from the 2-minute drill. Kenny Pickett just 2 for 4 for 12 yards, and the 1 interception. He did scramble for 7 yards. The second team offense took the same shot as the first team, 65 yards in 1:19, and 1 timeout at its disposal. And that one, maybe a little controversy at the end there. Mitch Trubisky firing, and he hit Darnell Washington, the huge tight end from Georgia, for 9 yards to the opposing 20. And then for what looked like the game-winning touchdown right at the end, but there are officials on campus working today's practice, and they ruled Washington down at the 1. It looked to me like he split the 2 defenders, and as it turns out, he was stopped at the 1, and the offense not able to get another play off. The clock ran out.
Can I say this? If they were in pads, do you really think the 2 of them are going to stop Darnell Washington, Mount Washington?
I do not.
Yeah, I don't either. So, as Mike Tomlin said, I heard him down there myself. He said, I make the rules. Okay, well, that's what it is. All right. But the fact of the matter is, you think about it, when you got Darnell Washington on mano-a-mano on a defensive back or maybe another one coming up, I still think he's in.
I mentioned young guys practice today. Significant amount of the veterans not working or working very infrequently. And Wolf, as we talked about with Joey Porter Jr., we continue to see him running with the number 1s. Mark Robinson getting an extended look this week at inside linebacker next to Cole Holcomb. We saw some Marcus Gold. Now he's a veteran, but a veteran backup. He was handling outside linebacker along with Alex Highsmith. And Kenny Robinson playing a lot of safety again, along with Trey Norwood,
who made a very big hit yesterday. I talked about Quan Alexander making that big hit on the 3rd or 4th play of 7 shots down around the goal line. Big stop. Quan came down, wham. But what I didn't realize until I saw the film was Trey Norwood was shoulder to shoulder with him on the inside, banging away and stopping the back short of the goal line. That's the sort of thing you want to see. Trey Norwood is quietly moving forward in all aspects, whether pass defense, run defense. I really like what I see. So, kudos to Trey. Keep coming.
Elijah Riley getting some reps at nickel. They've been running through about 3 guys there. It's Duke Dawson and Chandon Sullivan and Elijah Riley. And when Patrick Peterson practices, he gets to play there some as well. So that remains a position in flux. And Wolf, last but not least, Nate Herbig started out as the right guard. Then yesterday he played some center. And today he played some left guard and some center. I'm envisioning a guy that, well, if you want to be a backup, playing all 3 interior positions, probably a pretty good way to get a helmet on game day.
That's what you want to do. And Nate Herbig was a guy who was the backup center to Jason Kelsey for, 3 years or so. I'm trying to remember. But regardless of how many, he was the backup center, played there. He's getting back in the swing of it. You got to get that snap. You got to be able to snap and get that other hand up and going right away. And he's had some work at it, playing left guard, as you said, right guard. But that's exactly what you want to be. You want to be capable. We also saw Spencer Anderson at some right guard today, too. So that was interesting as well, I would say.
Okay, just before we get out of here, for clarity's sake, I was watching the zebra on the last play, and he was pointing and spotting the ball at the 1. Did Mike Tomlin overrule that as far as you could tell?
No, that was earlier in the day when he thought I couldn't tell. Okay,
so
but if Mike says he makes the rules, he makes the rules.
I'm going to stick with getting stopped at the 1 yard line.
I think that you're right.
That's the way it works out sometimes. Hey, don't forget Friday Night Lights tomorrow night. Keep checking Steelers.com. We're going to have you covered in the event you cannot make it to Memorial Stadium in Latrobe. And then the Steelers will be back on campus on Saturday, and we'll be doing our usual rotation of Training Camp Live and then the wrap-up show presented by the UPMC Health Plan. That's going to do it for today from St. Vincent. For Craig Wolfley, I'm Mike Prisuta. Thanks for finding us wherever and however you found us. Until tomorrow, this has been the wrap-up show presented by the UPMC Health Plan. Good afternoon, everyone.